to the next session, and let's keep the same energy, focus, alert as we invite our next speaker. We're going to talk about the role in leaders in driving and learning performance to drive organizational growth. The speaker today is the chairman of Oman Energy Association, chairman of Middle East Leadership Academy, and chairman of Concordia Group. Let's put our hands together and give a very great clap of hands to Dr. Amer Awadh Al-Rawas. Please come and join us on stage. And our moderator, ladies and gentlemen, CEO of KEEPTALENT, past president, Portuguese Association of People Management, Dr. Pedro Ramos. Very nice to have you here back on the stage. And Mr. Moderator, I give the stage to you. Dr. Amer, please.
Good morning. Good morning. Oh,
Yeah.
first of all, Bahrain is great. Okay. As we learned yesterday in Portuguese, bom dia.
Yeah.
Great, great. Bom dia, Mr.
Bom dia.
Dr. Amer Al-Rawas. Welcome to the second part of this session. Never before, let's talk about leadership. Never before have the changes faced by leadings have been as complex and demanding as they are today. In an era with rapid technological advances, disruptions, it is more crucial than ever to understand how emerging technologies like AI can support and improve leadership programs, leadership capabilities and skills. It's why it's so important, this decision. It's about leveraging AI in the leadership development. Let's talk about the role of leaders in driving learning and performance to drive organizational growth. It's all about leadership, as we know. It's why we have here our speaker, Dr. Amer Al-Rawas. Sorry, my accent is not so good. Is chairman Middle East Leadership Academy, CEO of Boards Leader in Telecom and Energy, chairman Oman Energy Association. Dr. Amer is an executive and academic leader too in the Middle East. He holds a PhD in the computer science and artificial intelligence. Is an expert in this matter.
I think that's
He
enough.
have lots of a long career that I have in
That's the wrong thing
my
to say.
computer.
That means I'm old.
Yes,
No.
but there are two things very important today. We have two things in common.
Yeah.
First of all, we both love football. Okay?
Absolutely, absolutely.
And the second one, number two, I'm Portuguese, you know, and you like very much a Portuguese that named Cristiano Ronaldo.
Of course.
And you support
The real
him.
GOAT.
Okay. And
Cristiano.
And Cristiano is a very good reference in the leader. As a
Absolutely.
leader, it's why Portugal wins the cup of recently. It's why I think it's very important to speak about leadership nowadays.
And role models like Cristiano.
Yes, and Cristiano could be a good reference for that.
Absolutely.
And now the stage is yours.
Thank you very
Let's listen to our speaker, Dr. Amer Al-Rawas.
Just call me Amer. It's okay. You're
it's
not
better
doing
now.
well with
It's
the
better
surname.
now. I will come.
Okay, all right. First of all, I want to thank the organizers for thank you, Pedro. Thank you so much. Muchas gracias. I don't know if you, yeah, yeah. So thank you for the video on Bahrain. I was very concerned, feeling out of place as I was about to approach the stage. And then after the video of Bahrain, I kind of felt at home. But I moved from being concerned to very concerned, because now I have to live up to what you saw in the video of Bahrain. So I'll try to do that. And my Bahraini brothers and sisters, forgive me if I don't live up to the image you showed of Bahrain. But you know, you look very beautiful from here, and I will seize this opportunity. They might not invite me again on stage to take maybe after my lousy lecture, they will never invite me again. So I want to take a picture with all of you here now. Okay, so smile for my, I'm not very good at this. Maybe someone younger should take the, okay, let's take a selfie. Yeah. All right, smile. Okay, one more, that side. Then now one more this side. Okay, we got that done. Now I can go back to my seat. So, beware. Okay, Bismillah. So, I feel honestly under pressure talking to the people who understand leadership and leadership development, about leadership development, but the comfort comes from what I see as the potential of AI. So here, please next. Okay, I want to start you off with this quote from Eliezer Yudkowsky. No prizes for pronouncing the name correctly. Yudkowsky. He says, by far, the greatest danger of AI is that people conclude too early that they understand it. We think we understand it. You know, we all use the TV very well, maybe too well sometimes, without having to know how it works. We just need to work the remote control. And somehow we're going to think of any technology that comes just like another TV. So we're using ChatGPT without understanding how it works and the potential impact. So I love this quote. And he's one of the people I read for, but also watch out for two other people. One is from our proud Asia. She's American, Chinese born. Her name is Fifi. It's not the Fifi the Arabs know. It's another Fifi. Her name is Fifi Lee. Fifi Lee is the best person to speak about the impact, socioeconomic impact of AI. And the third one is Amit Ray, which I will also, from India, again, two very strong people from Asia, speak about the impact, socioeconomic impact of AI. So if you want to really understand the impact on everybody's daily life, you need to read for those two people plus Eliezer. So I'm going to try again with this. Next, please. So very quickly on this. This is justifying the topic, which was chosen by my dear brother, Dr. Ahmed. And I kind of tried to deliver the slides according to the title. Operations are being reshaped. Operating models are being challenged. Everybody has to change their operating model. Complexity is increasing, but most importantly, decision cycles are being accelerated. We don't have time now. We need to make decisions very quickly. I was asked, and Dr. Ghalib knows I'm involved in overseeing a national CEO program in Oman, where we have already qualified 100 CEO, and now they're looking at qualifying more CEOs. And the University of Oxford people who are helping design the program asked me, what do you think we should focus on? So I told them, focus on decision making. Because we in Oman take too long to make decisions. Sorry, Dr. Ghalib, but that's the truth. But we need to move much faster with decision making. Ethical responsibility is growing for leaders, and you will see why the impact of AI is going to impact how we look at ethics. So you would notice that I have chosen a gray color for the role of a leader. Leaders need to keep evolving. You know, the time of the know-it-all, glamorous leader that everybody goes back to are long gone. Yeah? People don't seek knowledge and guidance and all this from this glamorous, all-knowing, big CEO anymore. So, because you're being challenged by all these tools that is proven to a lot of people are better guiders and better source of knowledge. Next, please. So I'm going to give up on this, sorry. A technologist giving up on technology. So we'll go without it. Yes, so we used to admire big leaders. Look at the black line, the past, okay? We used to admire great leaders who made big decisions that transformed humanity with so little data, with so little information to help them in the decision support. Those are the people who used gut feeling. And for the older ones, they used wisdom. They were able to make decisions based mainly on gut feeling or wisdom. But now with AI, we're going to have data-rich insights that will guide and inform our decisions. We're going to have personalized development plans for our leaders. So they're going to be more fine-tuned. The calibration of development of leaders is going to be improved. And we're going to have continuous feedback. See, frequency of feedback is very low. I think Google was one of the first companies that saw the value of feedback and, in fact, put the honors on the employee. So the employee has to ask for feedback twice in the month. How many of us actually sit with their subordinates more than once a month to actually give them feedback? So AI and technology is going to allow you to have continuous feedback and therefore inform your decisions. Next, please. You're going to need to be faster with me. So it will also help you identify blind spots. We have all been surprised with leaders that we picked because of an interview or a CV, and then we see those blind spots, or maybe what a psychologist, Hogan, I think you all know Hogan, calls it the dark spots. You know, every one of us has some dark spots. They come out once you take that leadership position. So it's going to identify blind spots that we can fix. I believe no one is unfixable. We can fix anyone. Remove bias. You know, as human, we have that bias. So AI will give you unbiased opinions. It will generate objective feedbacks. Coaches and leaders are just not able to take that human subjectivity out. There will always be human subjectivity. So we need objective feedback. And of course, the continuous calibration that allows us to fine-tune based on that continuous feedback. The only way to fine-tune or calibrate is feedback. You know, you try it, have them work, get feedback, and then fine-tune them for the next. Next, please. Please be faster with me here. So I'm going to go quick here. Dynamic skill gap mapping. Focus on the word dynamic. We all do skill gap mapping for our employees, but how often do you do it? You can have this every day as people get challenged with tasks that they have to do, decisions that they have to make. You're going to see the gaps using AI. You would have continuous progress tracking. The way I explained it in a university where I'm a dean of business and IT school, New Vision University in Georgia, that let's turn it like a game. Students can only progress to the next level of the game if they are able to answer all these questions, rather than go for traditional exams the way we do it. Role-specific development plans. You have a leader who's doing something, and you want to move them diagonally up to lead a different team. So you need to do some role-specific development. AI can help you with that by identifying the skill gap. Finally, we need adaptive. How often do we revise our development plans? I think you in HR are doing much better than academicians in universities. Curriculums only change every 5 years or so. For every cohort, it's fixed. Minimum is 5 years. And then you have to get it accredited by some accreditation agency before you run it. So the cycle is too long. With AI, we're going to have adaptive learning journeys that can change as your role change, as your position change. Next, please. Okay, so very quickly, you're going to start with early identification of gaps and problems and issues. You're going to have, this is very important, human supplementation. Dr. Fatma will agree that we just don't have enough hours in the day of coaches and leaders to give that coaching that is so absolutely required. Therefore, we need assistant supplementation from AI. Coaches just don't have enough time. I gave up coaching because it was just taking too much time. And then we will move into AI coaching, 24-hour, 24/7, anytime. You can just go back to your coach. You're waiting in the airport, you're struggling with an issue, something is bugging your mind, speak to your AI coach. Conversational AI. Today, Patty, I think, talked about conversation. Dr. Ghalib really loved that part where, leaders have to have conversations, but they're not always available for you. Next. Of course, continuous monitoring. People don't like the word monitoring, so I left it down there, especially not in our region. Next. Okay. So that we believe, and you believe, that this, what I'm talking about is true, I thought I'll give you some example of who's doing what. So notice, IBM is using AI a lot in their, Dr. Ghalib noticed the naming. Long time ago in Oman, we used the word pathways for the journey of our employees' progress. In Arabic, masar, right? Is it still there? Yes, masar. So we have masar, which is pathways. IBM is using AI to do that. And then you have critical behaviors. Google is using it. You see, we have confused in leadership the difference between competency and behaviors. We give you an example. Most of us have the competency of driving. And the day we went for the test, the driving test, we drove in a, let's say, a perfect way in order to pass. So we passed because we have the competency of driving. But right after taking the license, and this happened to my young daughter who just got her license, I saw her driving before getting the license. The moment she was given the license, she drove home like this. She's not anymore focused on the driving and so on. Because there's a difference between competency and behavior. Yeah, we all know how to drive correctly, otherwise we wouldn't have got the license. But the way we behave, we all know, is not according to the competency. So this is something we need to look at, and AI can help you adjust behavior, test behavior, and so on. AI recruitment. And if you look at the next one, faster hiring, same company, Unilever. These companies are called FMCG. I think it stands for fast-moving consumer goods. But you know what else is fast-moving in this organization? It's not only the goods. Staff move a lot out of those organizations, apparently. They have very high attrition. And they can't, their recruitment cycle has to be very short. So in this fast-moving organizations, faster hiring, AI recruitment is very important. But for bigger companies, like oil companies, and I've been a long time in the oil sector after I left telecom, they need strategic systems. Oil companies and airline companies are very slow in transformation. Nothing moves, yeah? But they look at strategic issues. They look at safety and so on. This is also an area for AI where it can help. Next, please. Can you move faster with me? Just click. Okay, so yeah. So the role of a leader now is more of vision setting, building a culture of innovation, and ethical deployment. Notice I am focusing on the ethical part because I'm seeing shifts and I see the danger. We all talk about bias, which I'll cover later. Next, please. Next, please. Please, next. Yes. We have to do dua to get this done. So, okay, leaders must own the ethical choices. I am seeing that people tell me, but AI said this. So they're not owning. Accountability is going to erode slowly if we're going to blame it on AI, right? So we are very good as humans on the blame game. We used to blame it on the colleague. Now we blame it on AI, right? So accountability, ethics have to be there. Next. Okay, so these are the ethics that I want you to keep in mind when you're using AI to develop leaders. Fairness. You know, objectivity is good when you use AI, but you need to watch out how much you actually believe of it and decide on it. Transparency. Privacy. We're going to know too much about people. We're going to know too much. I read two with triple O, not two O's. Too much about people. We are going to see accountability eroding, which I just talked about. Sustainability is going to be an important concern. You know, people talk about AI bias on gender, AI bias on culture, on race, what people worry about where AI is coming from and what kind of cultural imposition is happening. I worry more about AI being more biased about productivity than sustainability. I worry about the bias of AI on productivity against sustainability. So part of the ethics that are required from all of us going forward is to give a larger weight for sustainability. Next, please. And how do we bridge? How do we bridge between AI that is so obviously eroding trust and eroding accountability to an AI that is built on ethical standards that builds trust and resilience, sustainability? We bridge that by protecting data, controlling bias, by building AI fluency. When people understand it, that's what Eliza talked about. When people don't understand it, they're going to believe it, right? And then we need to own the decisions that are made by AI. And we have to also own the decisions that AI cannot make. And this is very important going forward, that we have to protect accountability through owning all the decisions that AI made and the decisions that AI cannot make. Next, please. So these are the trends. Some of the speakers yesterday or the first day talked about them. The first is digital twin. You can have someone as an assistant helping you. But you know, a trend that I am still praying for, there is a concept that researchers are talking about now called super collaboration. So it's not you as an individual collaborating with AI, but a group of employees collaborating with AI. Psychologists think that when we are collaborating as humans, we are not very effective. Do you know why? Because we compete. We try to show off our intelligence. No, I know better, you don't know this. So half the time is wasted competing to show who's smarter. They claim that if you have an AI agent in the middle that is supposed to give you the knowledge and peer review, so to speak, peer review the knowledge that you're talking about, you're going to stop competing and you will reach a stage which they're calling now super collaboration. So it's going to move beyond digital twin, but for now, digital twin is there. They're now aware of ethical conflict detection. I spent 4 years doing my PhD doing conflict resolution, detection and resolution through AI for requirements engineering and software engineering. So just one small, 4 years of my life looking at detecting conflicts and resolving them using AI through understanding the backgrounds of those scientists where they come from. And it was picked by NASA as one of the projects that they wanted to proceed. I spent 2 years with them, but really we got nowhere, and I left and came back to Oman. So we need to build adaptive, it's a trend now, adaptive AI-driven development ecosystem. We're going back. We need to build cross-cultural leadership. Now with this, what I call concentration of wealth, where huge companies are running the world, they need to run differently. You've seen how Uber done it. After failing, they corrected. Uber now have offices in countries where the culture is different from the US to run it. In Lebanon was the first example. The first external office for Uber was in Lebanon because they had to adjust to the Lebanese culture. Yeah? And then it worked in Lebanon very well, so they started doing it everywhere. Now you can build a culture-driven ecosystem that will allow cross-cultural leadership, real-time leadership dashboards. I really enjoyed 12 years in Omantel, but the last 2 or 3 years in my time in Omantel as a CEO, I really enjoyed the dashboard. It's good to know. You come into office in the morning, you know how the company is ticking because we had a dashboard. Imagine if this dashboard was much more frequent and AI-driven. It's good to know. It's good to have informed decisions. We don't want to be great leaders like Napoleon, making all these decisions and then failing. Yeah, because he used only gut feeling. And then you know where it got Napoleon in the end, right? You need to make informed decisions. Next, please. I'm getting to the end now, so I think Pedro will start getting worried. But I'm not over the half an hour yet. How much time do I have? We have time. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. So here, who's going to be the future leader? Is someone who's responsible AI architect. You need to be involved in how AI is going to be deployed in your organization. So you need leaders who can be AI architects, AI-capable culture builders. Very important. Strategic insights, integrators. You're going to have so many. Now with this globalization, it's coming back. Globalization, thanks to AI, is coming back. You would need to have somebody who is able to integrate all these visions into one. And note this one, the orange one, my favorite. Imagination protector. By the way, this is not from the research I've done. I added this personally because I truly believe in the power of imagination. We'll talk more about that. I have some bias, personal bias, on imagination. I want you to please remember to ask me to tell you about this green apple and the road and the role green apple played in my career, which I'm very proud of. So watch out for the green apple. Just in case of time, I'm going to leave that to the question time. You have to remind me how this green apple impacted my career as a leader. Last but not least, human-centric. I put it at the top. You need to continue to develop human-centric leadership. You need to have a leader that protects that human-centric leadership in the organization. Next. So why I emphasize imagination? This is someone who's intelligent. I think we can all agree that Einstein is intelligent. He says the true sign of intelligence is not knowledge, but imagination. So what AI will give you is knowledge. AI not yet, it can't give you imagination. I did AI at Sussex University, England, long time ago. And we had a professor from Canada, Professor Thornton, one of my favorite. His class was linguistics, because in AI you need to study psychology, linguistics, and so on. And he said to us, imagination is the one thing that separates us as human from all other animals. When you see gazelles and deers coming to the water, and they see the eyes of the alligator above the water, they cannot imagine the rest of the alligator. So they stay until the alligator jumps at them. We as humans have a much more powerful imagination. Imagination is what got us here. Next, please. Imagination got us from there to there. Somebody saw that and took it to there. Right? By the way, some time ago, about 10 years ago, my first trip to Indonesia, I saw people using the hijab to put the phone. Yeah. Yeah, honestly. Yeah, in Malaysia too, right. Yeah, I saw this brave lady driving, a bike with the, but I didn't imagine anything. So I lost it on the innovation of this product, I could have beaten, if I had better imagination, I could have beaten Apple to this. But, missed that one. Okay, so next, please. I like this guy, Amer. He is at the same league as Fifi Lee. As more and more artificial intelligence is entering the world, more and more emotional intelligence must enter leadership. Thank you, Mark. You understand this better than anyone in this room. Thank you for the 2 thumbs up. Can I take a picture of you doing that? Okay, next. Something that's eroding as well. Remember what I said on my grade circle in the first slide? Nobody looks up to leaders the way they did in the past because they can live without them. In fact, at New Vision University, I'm the chairman of the Strategic Committee, Strategic and Internationalization Committee. So we were tasked at looking at how to prepare for the alpha generation. The alpha generation, the new generation. We have X, Y, Z, then the letters finished. We had to start from A again. So we called it the A generation, and then we thought these people are very dangerous, and we called them alpha generation. So we're trying at universities to prepare for receiving them in 3 years. And we got few of them from schools to talk to us. Do you know what one of them said? One of those students said, "We don't need you as professors. All we need from you is the certification. I don't want to spend 4 years at New Vision University to then get a certification. I don't need you." And, they think we don't need leaders. So leaders have to focus less on authority. So in the past, it used to be 90% authority, 10% trust. That doesn't work anymore. What works now is 90% trust. In the era of uncertainty which we're living in, 90% trust and only 10% authority. Next, please. Emotional intelligence again. 80 to 90% of the abilities that distinguish high performers are based on emotional intelligence. And I think in my career, what has distinguished the leaders that I worked with and made us so successful, Dr. Ghalib and I and a few colleagues took a government department. I don't know whether they were actually making money or not, but we're not going to tell that. A government department, and we turned it into what? $8 billion company. $8 billion company. These leaders, if you ask me how they did it, I think it was more emotional intelligence than anything else. And we picked people based on their emotional index rather than their technical capability. I used to be very proud of my technical capability, and NASA recognized it everywhere. Now I get offended when people talk about that high performer nerd. I don't want to be reminded of the nerd that I was. I want to be more talked about as an emotional leader. Next. Men in the room, beware. This is a study that was done by the 2 top HR organizations in the world, Mercer and Conferry. Together, they did a study, and the result of the study is that women, I'm afraid, lead us as men in all aspects of emotional intelligence. So if the future is all about emotional intelligence, beware, men. Women are ahead of us, so far ahead of us on every single, the study contact is there. Please share the slides with anybody who wants them. You can go and read the full study. It's very interesting and scary for men. In the end, the only thing that we were equal to women on as men was emotional reaction. And guess what? We thought we were better at emotional. We're just equal. On everything else, we've lost it. Right? Next, please. But for men, something still works. What psychologists call the confidence gap. You know, if you ask a male leader whether they can do something, they say yes, even if they don't know. They will go to the coffee shop, to the bar, and ask their friends how to do it. Yeah? We men call it behind your back, fake it till you make it. Yeah? Women don't do that. So keep it a secret, right? Women don't do that. Women can only say, I can do it if they really can do it. My last slide is next. Yeah, you need to come back. Portugal is coming back, right? They just won the Nations League, and they will win the World Cup next. So the confidence gap was really working for us because men fake it till they make it. Women say, no, I cannot do it. Give it to someone else, and they miss out. This is my second favorite, by far, favorite quote in my life. And it's by a famous, not so famous, unfortunately, in this region, but someone I loved for a long time. And I've been reading for her. She's a poet, she's a philosopher, amazing lady from South Africa, Maya Angelou. Maya Angelou, unfortunately, died in 2014, but left a legacy that I have learned so much from. And this is my favorite quote of this fine lady. I have learned that people will forget what you said. People will forget what you did. They will forget the 8 billion that we made, right? They will forget what you did. But they will never forget how you made them feel. What kind of feeling do they come out with after a meeting with you? I invested in a company in Estonia 10 years ago that is going to use artificial intelligence to judge your feelings at the end of the day. And guess what? We found in our early years in this company that people are affected by meeting certain people. And very quickly, we knew who's the bad boss in the organization. That's why we failed, because we were, as a company, we were valued at 500,000 euros. We moved to California, we were valued at $9 million. A big jump, right? Later, we were devalued, because now we are showing who are the bad leaders in organization. Thank you
Amer.
for that, and I'll stop now, otherwise
A big applause. Amer, we need time for some questions.
Yes, sir.
You are my favorite speaker.
Habibi.
You are a speedy man like me. Next.
Yeah, of course,
Good.
yeah.
Amer, I have lots of questions, but I have a question I think, let's talk about the skills, the capabilities, skills that leaders need to improve all of this. What kind of skills?
The one skill that I'll ask you to improve is master the art of learning.
Mm-hmm.
That's the one skill that will always work for you. Master the art of learning.
Art of learning.
That's a short answer, right?
Okay, shorter, good. And what about the apple, the green apple?
I was hoping you'll forget it, you know.
Don't forget, because I'm very curious about that.
You know, there's, if you allow me to stand up, because it's a 1 minute discussion. I was the youngest speaker, 2001, in a big conference for the IISS. How many of you know the IISS? The International Institute for Strategic Studies. This is big people stuff. So I gave, that's a big person, he says he knows it, yeah? So they invited me after a speech I did in California in a place called Livermore Labs. This is a place which has 14,000 PhDs, quite scary, you know it, right? So I was invited there when I was like 29 years old, you can see how scary it was to give a speech to 3-star generals and to ministers of defense and on the role of technology in global security. And then they decided to invite me because this IISS, you can only come in by invitation. So I was invited to now become a member, maybe one of the youngest member, and they asked me to speak in Geneva on the role of technology. And I said, no, this is too big for me. They said, whatever you said in Livermore, just say it again in Geneva. So I thought it's good. I've already rehearsed it. They loved it, so I'm going to repeat it. So it's supposed to be simple. But you know what? That conference happened on September 11, 2001, our opening day. So the whole conference was spoiled. We had ministers of defense who had to fly back to their countries. We had ministers of foreign affairs there. And I was this young speaker who will speak in the afternoon, in the second day, after people had a big meal. And I was worried that nobody will give me their attention. Actually, the guy next to me was asleep half the time. And so there was, in Geneva, they put green apples, even greener than this, in front of the speakers. So when my time came, I grabbed an apple, I put it on the podium, and I told them, I want you to remind me to tell you how a green apple can help global security. So everybody was surprised, So the guy next to me was only awake to learn about the apple. The answer is there's nothing. It has no role in my career, no role in the...
Right.
The only role is to keep you curious, because curiosity is powerful.
Let's try a question. A rapid question. The AI is a tool or is a part of the leadership process?
That's a very good question.
Yes, I know.
We must
it's
not.
my question.
Yeah. I love your modesty. Yeah, he says, I know it's a great question. So, yeah, it's a great question. It's a great question because we will fail when we start thinking of AI as an end. It's a tool. It's not an end.
Okay.
It's a tool. It's not an end on itself.
Okay. We have only one question from the audience. Sorry. Who is the... One question.
Yeah, this is yours. You got it. I'll bring it.
Okay. Okay. We win a ball. Any question? One question. Sorry, we don't have books to offer you, but...
We have apples.
No worries. Thank you, Amer. This was very nice and very insightful. My question is about ethical part of your presentation, because going forward, Google has stopped their robotics because robotics was learning of their own. So, in machine learning and in robotics, how the ethical dilemma part will play in future?
Yeah.
Good question, too.
That's a very good question, too. I emphasize ethics there because I think the way we are building our algorithms, we are not questioning the impact, the long-term impact on ethics, on socioeconomic impact. We're not asking those questions. I also hate to say that it's driven by capitalist men. We need more women in AI to bring in that emotional care part, There's not enough care about the long-term impact of AI. Algorithms are built for efficiency, for productivity. That sounds profitable, but it's scary at the same time. So that's where my worry is. You need to drive in the way we have standards for everything. So let's have a standard for building AI algorithms. The standard, we have standardized nuclear weapons. So far, nobody's except for Hiroshima. After that, we put the standards. Everybody has nukes, but they're not using them because of the limitations and standards. We need to put standards on algorithms. Algorithms that I have worked with and learned about are all biased towards productivity away from sustainability.
Okay. Thank you very much. Time is it's up.
Oh, it says
we
it.
love your presentation.
Thank you so much.
I had
lots of it means a lot coming from you. If you allow me 30 seconds just to tell them, for you to get how I believed in the power of curiosity. It's two things that I live with: power of curiosity, power of imagination. Imagine you're sitting in the room, on the sofa, and you're watching the wrong channel. And the remote control is only 1 meter away. And you're waiting for your nephew to pass so that he will pass the... You're too lazy to stand up. You're waiting for your daughter or your nephew to pass me the remote control. And you're suffering with this wrong channel. But imagine at the same time, you just heard a car accident outside. What will you do? You will jump to see what that car accident was all about. Curiosity is a driver. Use it. Thank you very much, Pedro.
Ladies and gentlemen, big applause.
Okay.
Let's do our selfie.
Yeah, of course.
All right. Well, taking this selfie together.
Sorry.
I'll wait until it's done. Right.
Now it's okay.
Two big head peoples. We covered all the audience.
Portuguese and a fan of Portuguese.
Habibi.
Dr. Pedro, 1 second. I hate to put this up to you, but Dr. Amer, I'm really sorry to come in like this. But because we see that everybody's still very excited about the topic, then I think we can drag this out a little bit for maybe another 5 minutes to 10. So if you're willing, only if you're willing.
Only willing if the questions will come from the audience, because he asks tough questions. So from the audience.
Of course, because we see that everybody's still very excited and looks a bit, when we have to get only one question. Anybody still wants to continue and ask questions? So maybe we'll move this a little bit for the next session. Is that okay? We'll give this time another 5 to 10 minutes.
Thank you very much.
Let's get back to your
We
seats
have
and I'll
more
leave you to
time.
it.
You are very good.
Thank
You
you.
win more 5 minutes. Questions from Wafa, my friend Wafa. Questions from Lebanon.
Thank you, Amer. It was really very good, insightful. Thank you so much. My question to you is, how long do you think it will take time for leaders in any company, for CEOs, COOs, etc., so to build in or to reach this strategy? Because it's a change, it's a big change. Specifically in SMEs, where we have to deal with different, a lot of SMEs, companies, specifically in Lebanon and almost in the MENA region, and specifically in the Middle East. We start by micro SMEs until large. Okay, so how do you expect, how much will be the duration of taking this process to reach the goal of the AI leadership, to match between, did you get me?
I get you, and I think
Okay.
it's an essential question for our leaders. To really capitalize on AI, you need to have already been digital at core. The problem in our region, our digital systems are fragmented. We are just adding, stuff to everything new,
From
trendy.
everywhere, they
Exactly. So it's all
collecting.
fragmented. And we are not digital at core. Our data is not digital at core. Our data structures are driven towards productivity, towards core business, not toward, things to do with the customer experience, employee experience, more importantly. And therefore, we need a lot of time to actually be digital at core and then build AI tools. However, you are the ones who will drive it. Dr. Ghalib knows that I've always been fighting, wherever I was the chairman of a board, to have the HR guy, so to speak, or lady, in the boardroom. Right now, we listen to the legal guy and the finance guy, but we don't bring in the HR people. So we need to bring in the HR people. These strategies that you are asking for should not be driven by the IT guy.
No,
Should be
never
driven-
by HR person and a
HR.
coach.
Right.
Because I do this in Lebanon, at least, in Jordan sometimes, in the MENA region. So it needs too much dedication and time and really in quality of doing things, etc.
And learning. You all need to learn.
Learning.
You all need to have what is called AI literacy.
And being agile with them. So change is really agile leadership. Thank you
Thank
so
you,
much. Thank
Wafa.
you.
Thank you.
The time's up again. One more question. One more question.
Dr. Yusuf, Dr. Ibrahim.
From your table.
Oh, he's the top guy, yeah. Someone I learned from
Yes,
in the
he's a
last 2
top
days.
guy.
Wonderful, Dr. Amer. Thank you for such a great presentation. We are proud of you. My question is, how can leaders ensure ethical AI deployment within their organizations or team?
By questions. You see, people ask me, I represent Estonia in Oman as their honorary council, and people ask me, why did Estonia get there in IT and AI and everything? Because any decision they want to make as a country, they think, how can we do it online? How can we use AI here? So you need to put it as a standard that in everything that you do, you question how AI will impact human resources, how it will impact sustainability, environment, governance. The one thing that we didn't talk about, governance is going to be eroded. Accountability is going to be eroded as a result of relying on AI. So questions must be asked at any implementation step. So project management people must revise their workflow to include these ethical questions.
Thank you. Thank you so much again.
Pedro.